Good day all, how's it been? So in today's documentation, I'll be documenting how to simulate factory IO from A to B. Yes, this guy from A to B. So I've started it already before now, before the recording, and keyboard shortcut one more time, attacking. So unfortunately, I only stopped the record during the process. So maybe I'll just start the whole project afresh since I've not saved anything. Um, yeah, very painful actually. Okay, so let's just do this function here. It was one of the new things we had. I added, oh, I must have the recording again. Delete. Sorry for this. Then data inputs. Don't worry, you'll know why I added all of this. Delete also. Yes. I don't know if you can hear me. Okay. Okay. I think that's all I did. That's the only new change. So far so good. What I just basically did is the template file, if we follow the documentation, the template file I downloaded or we used to set up TI port and factor so they were able to communicate to each other. That's the same template file I just opened. And yes, very sorry, I had no idea you don't be saying on this file. So what I did is I deleted some of the setup I did initially because I already started this recording or not me, I stopped it because of keyboard shortcuts. So after deleting all the changes I've made so far, this is the major script. This is sorry, the major project. So this particular project you are seeing open now is just the project. It's the same factory project, yes, that contains the particular function you use to connect TI portal with factory. That's the only thing there. Nothing new, nothing has changed. So just open a project and go to your menu B1 and you see the same thing you are seeing here. Okay, so the only thing that I've changed that I've not reverted is factory here. So instead of me doing reverting change, I'll just open the scene again. My scene, sorry. Okay, as you can see, my scene, there's nothing there because I've not saved anything. So from A to B, it's card or changes. Yep. So basically, once I open a scene like this and I have no idea, let's say for example, I have no idea what exactly I need to do for this scene. So I'll just go to the documentation and tutorials, go to scene, to fire up my web browser for me. Then I look for the particular scene I want to simulate, which is this guy from A to B. Then I watch the YouTube video on what the scene is all about. And the whole process ends there. That's what we are doing. To minimize this, go back. Yep. So now one thing I need to take note is what are my available IOs. So since I'm going to be using S7 PLC system, I don't have any other I don't have any of this Cisco PLC available currently. I'm going to use S7 PLC system. So now I have three IOs. So connected to either the factory IOs running on 0.1 and the conveyor connected to 0.0. Software of this factory IO address 0. Software itself, so I have no business with it. What I have business with is sensor and conveyor. So now for the sake of structure, since I like to keep everything intact and in structure, I prefer opening a new function. So let's add a new block. Oh, so function. And I like to name the function according to the thing. So this thing says let's see what's name from A to B. So come here, write it from A to B, then okay. So I do the same thing also for my PLC tags. I divide them into segments. So there's a segment for digital input. There's another different tag table for digital outputs. Since I only have data input and output to deal with for this particular project, so this function is created. Go to my PLC tag, add new tag table, and add a new tag table. For one for digital input and the other for digital output. So this is where I suggest. This is why I do mistakenly cut the video because I like to make use of the keyboard shortcut F2 to rename. And unfortunately, F2 is still the same keyboard shortcut to, you know, to end with my recording session. So yes, I'm not going to do that time around. I've been away. I've learned digital inputs. So rename this guy also. Digital output. So since we have just digital output, let's start with digital output. So how many digital output do we have on our projects? Go back to our drivers, conveyor just one. So I place that in. Actually, you can export all the tags and import them on Factorio, but I don't just like to do that. Yeah, let's go manual. Let's like what is clean automatic already, regardless. So as you can see here now, the address starts from 0.2. Yes, 0.2. Let's see. I was trying to look for exactly that's what I was looking for initially. So now this would not work because our I is connected to 0.0. So how are we going to do this? So if you should force write to 0.0 also, you'll notice something. This tag has been taken already. So possibly by this factorio function here. So now it has consumed, sorry, q0.0, my bad. Q0.0 is an output, still the same thing. So if you want to know what exactly is consuming this tag, or what exactly is consuming this address, so I'll just cross-reference. Once I click on cross-reference, then I select my object name. Okay, now I need to select. Okay. Anyway, I will look it up and bring it up in the next documentation I'll be doing. I need to quickly wrap up this guy. Oh, let's see, show up objects. It's not showing, it's not visible. So maybe I believe in some way this guy is already consuming it because if not, it's not going to tell me that it is already consumed by something else. You get. Anyway, so let's readdress this guy to 0.1 instead. Oh, I don't know where you saw last. I'm sorry for this. I think I'll just delete this guy. So I don't have to be dealing with it anymore. No, just delete this guy. So 0.1, I'm trying to cross-reference, but because of the timing, I will not be able to do that because for some unknown reason it did not show the referencing actually. So let's just move on to the next. So 0.1. So how do we fix that in Factorio? What we basically do is go to configuration and your bool output, boolean output, your count becomes 2 and you drag and drop. Or better still, you can see offset, you can still leave it as 1 and you offset by 1. Oh, 1 is another shortcut for my keyboard. Sorry. Maybe I'll just change that instead. Settings. Sorry, let me quickly fix it up so I don't have to start checking my transition. Okay, keys. Let's change that guy. Just leave it. Let's leave it. Okay. I really can see now. So Bula put 1, then I offset by 1. So you see, starting from, sorry, let's do that again. Okay, 1, 1. So you see now it's starting from 1.0. So I just drag and drop conveyor there. So whichever works for you is fine. Oh, sorry. Is the address is starting from? My bad. My bad. Offset will be still be zero. Then you count by two. Yes. So you drag and drop your conveyor to 0.1. So 0.1 conveyor, 0.1 conveyor. Now let's move on to data input. So for data input, we have what do we have? Let's check our software again. We have sensor and factory running. Sensor, same thing again. So 0.0 and 0.1 has been consumed. Then we have factory running. Okay. So factory, I don't know if I've explained before, but just to reiterate, factory running simply means this particular um position, this particular address is being controlled or alternated by the software itself. So we have no business running it or controlling it in our program. So let's do our offset now, configuration. So we count by 4 because two addresses have been offset already. That's 0.0 and 0.1. So our boolean input counts will go by 4. So you go back, then you drag and drop this guy to I0.3 and this guy to I0.2, and we are good to go. So come to your main OB1 this time around. So you drag and drop the function, drag and drop this here. So it's going to run, else your function will not run no matter the code you write. No, because main OB1 is your main function. Just like in C, you have your main. So let's go back to our function this time around. So now, since this is a function, there's something called local variable. If you're coming from the software aspect of things, there's something when you're defining a function, you know, your address or your variables will be a local variable or can either be a global variable. So local variable simply means that variable can only be used or called within that function. So if you go to a different function or like your main OP1, for example, and call that particular variable or that particular tag, it would not work. It would not. It's not able to call itself in the first place. You get so based on like I like to structure things. So I'm going to also call or name my variables here. Same thing I named it outside. So sensor. So these are local to just this function. And for output, I have conveyor. Yes, those are the two things that we have: sensor and conveyor. Basically, all. And yeah, yep. So you would see why he named it the same. It's not compulsory to name it the same way, but based on the fact that you want someone else to be able to hop into your project and excuse me, you want someone else to be able to hop into your project and continue from where you stopped or reiterate or what's the word again? I've forgotten what they call it, but yes, more like modify your project. It's better you do it this way. So now let's go back to our factory and see. So there's a shortcut I do make use of to know what exactly. So this is conveyor, this is my conveyor, this is sensor. So you see this orange light. This simply means that this sensor is in normally closed sensor position. Is normally closed. So if it was not in normally closed sensor, you would this orange light not be this bright. It will be a bit gray. I don't know if I have any. If there's any, I don't know if there's any normally closed sensor I can make use of to illustrate that. Um, wait, what's it? Let's I don't know. Exactly. So you see, this guy is normally open, this guy is normally closed. So that's that for that. So that's how I do identify some of the tasks I do. So let's do this guy. So since it is normally closed, and from the tutorial we watched from RealPals platform, immediately start the simulation. It gets to the sensor. So no push button, nothing. So basically call your IO here, then your output here. So first one is my input sensor. Comes to recording. Yep, I am. sensor, solar is load. Yep. So the second one is my output conveyor. Yes. So that's all. Yes. One sensor, the sensor is normally closed, so with that, this contact is going to close. The main will start the whole simulation. And my conveyor gets energized, the box starts moving, and that's it. Just step by step, not just step by step. Yes. Points just to correct my words, my statements. Okay. So now that we've done this, so before we start simulation, when you go back to main OB1, you would notice something has changed. Yes, you see, it's not in red. So what it simply means is that you define some functions. You know, when you're writing a function, let's say, let me just, sorry, it's trying to deviate a bit, but let me bring up my notepad. Just to let you know how much I understand what's going on. Okay. So when you open, let's say you are familiar with Python, you define the function. So you do define um, s comma y, okay, c comma y for example, and you do c plus y, or you do return c plus y. That's very big actually, but yeah, let's just do that. So what this is telling you, why this guy is on red is the fact that when you call, let's say for example, you are trying to call this function. Oh, sorry, I didn't even name the function. My bad. Let's call it define adds. Yes. So when you call this function adds without these local variables or assigning these local variables to something, the function will not run. It's throw an error. So same here. This function has, yeah, there are local variables already on this function, but we've not called them here. So how do we do that? How do we correct that? So what we basically do is we do where is it? No, not cross reference. Sorry, let me select it one more time. Update cell call. Yes, update block call. That will do. So to show you the difference, this is the old one, this is the new one. You click on OK. This is the new one with our predefined local variables that we have to assign. And this is the old one. So click on OK to update it. So you see why I said it is better you use the same name. Why I said it is better to make use of the same name. So basically because now I don't with something like x1 and x2. How do you want to know what is x1? How do you want to know what is x2? But now you see the word here sensor. Okay, yes, I need to call my sensor tag or my sensor tag global tag. Then you see the word conveyor. Okay, yes, I need to call my conveyor. So that's basically why. So there's the trick. Instead of opening the project, this particular tag table once more, just tap on it once. Should see it here. Yes. So sensor, you drag and drop. Like you allow it to do its thing. Yes. Actually, it's slow. Sorry. Yes. So conveyor is a digital output. We drag and drop. Yes. So if you notice, we have no business with factory IO running because, like I told you, the software is one controlling this particular IO module or this particular IO address, so we don't have the business with it. So that's that for that, and we start our simulation now. Remember, we've not connected to TI portal with to factory IO yet. Okay, okay. Let's wait for it to do its thing. So remember, remember again. It is advisable to start factory IO as administrator just to showcase how you do that. Else, you're not able to connect no matter what you do. So how to do that? Let me close this guy, for example. Then while the guy is running, I go to my desktop. Actually, they will allow me to go to desktop for you. Okay, let's just await it. See it working. Then I'll show you how to start factory as administrator. Let's take quite some time. Let's allow it do its thing. Oh, oh. Mm, 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 mm. I haven't started compiling funny enough. It needs to take quite some time. So if your PC is CPU is fast, you will not have to wait this long. So I don't know. I think because of I'm recording, I've never tried recording on this kind, but without the recording, the router is quite responsive on my own PC. But regardless, let's just chill. Can always forward. Fortunately, I don't have to pause and resume. I don't really want to pause and resume. Try your please. Oh, what just happened? Okay, consider as trusted. So Windows there I was pressing saying just swapped. So let's use the opportunity to start factory as admin. Oh, okay. So go to your keyboard, your desktop, this particular keyboard shortcut here. Left click on it. Then you see the run as administrator. That doesn't work. If you don't have the desktop shortcut, just search for factory run as administrator. So any of them works fine. Why you guys still busy compiling? I know I'm still on recording. Okay, okay, I'm still on record. Oh, yes. So you see the so you are seeing this dark screen because Factory is trying to ask, or Windows is trying to ask you, do you want to allow Factory to run as administrator? So you tell it yes, yes, okay. So compiling, configuration, brings down to the device, which is this guy. Sake of my CPU one is already spinning out loud. Let me just close this guy for the meantime and wait for try for that to do his thing. Okay, so it's done compiling. Let's load. So I'm loading to the software. So yes, start module. Look, this is yellow. So before we start our module, this is on stop mode yellow. Finish. There's a reason why I have to notice that. Well, why I like to notice that. So if we launch factory one more time, almost time. So first thing first, launch factory will simulate with admin privileges. Secondly, make sure your PLC is on run mode, else factory will not connect. On run mode, else it will connect. So let me resave this projects, save as. So every documentation I'm doing, every project I'm doing, I'll save it up and send it to my GitHub. Yes, that's how I store most of the project I'm doing. So let me enter this sponge. I like to rename my projects as the same. So this thing is, or let me just call it factory projects. Because moving on, I'll still use the same file projects save. So I did save as these templates. So immediately I need a new project, I'll just open it. If I want to do a new project, I'll open the template again instead of re-downloading, and extracting it over and over again. So just to save as, so you know the template still remains untouched. Okay, so we saved as. So now let's connect to TI portal. You can actually connect before. You can actually connect to factory before you save the boss. Yep. First thing first. So go back to S7 PLC scene. Oh, we need to do our offset one more time. Configuration. This guy was offset with 4, and this guy was offset with 2. Go back, drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. So I'm good to go. So let's connect. Factory admin privilege. Sorry, factory admin privilege. PLC must be on run mode. And if for some reason you're able to connect, what you need to check in your configuration, make sure this guy is on S7 1200. If it's on S7 300, for example, or any other PLC that is not what you are simulating, you will not still be able to connect. Yep, error you will get. So configuration S7 1200, because otherwise it simulates. Then go back, click on connect, and it's connected. So one way to know it's connected is this guy is on green, and one more to know is that show you. So now that I've connected, let us run and see. Yep, sorry. Yes, let's restart. And if I to observe it now, let's monitor. That's the word, monitor. So let's monitor. Let's go to our function to monitor. So let's monitor. Consider as trusted device. Okay, it's starting now. Almost done. This is just a response. Very sorry for that. But yep, we're running a whole lot on it. So you see, there's no container. So as you can see now, since I told you earlier on, this sensor is normally closed sensor. So since there's a contact now, that's not normally when your conveyor is not running. you should restart this post, for example. Now, you see the sensor is now normally closed back as it used to be, and current is allowed to flow to energize your conveyor output. So let's and yes, that's that. We can also monitor from main. So let's monitor also. So this main since the function is going to tell you that true or false boolean values. So false because your sensor has been broken already. So let's see it's on true. And false. So yes, that's that for that. That was the first simulation with Sky Portal and Factual we'll be doing on this series, or I'll be documenting on this series. So moving on, I think the next thing is to have an HMI at least, so that an operator's HMI, so you're able to see that okay, fine and good, this conveyor is working, the box is already on the conveyor is moving, and that's got into the sensor where it's going to range. So that's that for that. A link to the project on my GitHub will be shared on the what do you call it again? The description. I cannot recall. Well, anyways, whatever. It will be shared. Yes, you will see there. Yes, that's that for that. Thank you very much and light out.